I'm Jonathan Coupal. Have been a scout of Troop 41 for 5 years, and I just finished working on my Eagle Scout project. This is my dad, Kevin Coupal. He is an assistant scoutmaster of Troop 41. This is Eva Foster. She is the advancement coordinator of Troop 41, and this is Mr. Joe Madden, the scoutmaster of Troop 41. Yep. So my mom is good pantry with Gloria, a person at our church. She is a volunteer for God's Pantry, and my mom was asking her about ideas for an Eagle Scout project I could do, and she looked at Northside Lexington. They had these produce tables or whatever, and we wanted to do something like that, and we found a design off of Etsy that worked well for us. So I went to my church, Pax Christi. They are very generous. It took 1 week. I went to 3 masses, and right before the end of mass, I would go up to the podium and I'd give a little speech and have a table at the back, and we ended up raising $1,100. A lot of it was pricing for stuff, because $1,100 might seem like a lot, but in the world of lumber, it is not at all. We ended up having to choose different types of woods, because originally when we priced it, wood was it was going to be $800 for the project, and now it's going to be like $1,500. So we had to choose different types of woods and stuff to get $1,100 to work for our budget.
At one point, you were going to put produce in. You were going to buy produce to put in the stand, but we didn't have enough for that, so we ended up just with the lumber and the project.
When we went to Northside Lexington, Linda was very excited and appreciating, and I guess that's how I saw it, because I haven't seen anyone use it yet, but she seemed very excited, so I think they'll have a great impact.
Absolutely. Do you have anything else you want to say on that?
Yeah, I look forward to seeing them in use. Right now they're just in the warehouse, but when they're actually full of produce, I think it'll be really cool to see how they're being used. And I think they should last a long time, so I think it's going to be a long-lasting donation.
So I've spent a lot of time on this. There's a form on the Eagle Scout form for the project. You have to calculate your hours. I've probably spent at least 30 hours just on planning and doing the project itself, and we have about 200 man-hours total for the building, staining, sanding of the 6 stands.
You get to be a leader for all of that. He's like the foreman on the whole project, so, in the Eagle project, he's not supposed to actually do the work. He's the foreman that tells them the workers how to do it. So did you have any mistakes or anything that you ran into?
Yeah, many of the scouts aren't experienced at woodworking, so even though we try to do as much teaching as you can, you still have to go back and fix their mistakes after the project.
Did you have any mistakes of your own? Maybe one? The measurement one?
Oh yeah, I misread measurements and ended up building all the stands to the wrong height.
We had to move one of the pieces of wood up a few inches because the bottom one wouldn't fit in. So we were building them simultaneously. All 6 stands were being built by scouts all at the same time, and so they all did the wrong measurement at the exact same time. So they all had to move those pieces of wood. So that was a learning experience for sure. Yep. Measure twice, cut once.
It may not feel like it's going to work out and that stuff keeps going wrong, but eventually in the end you will get what you're aiming for.
I wouldn't overlook people's generosity, because I never would have imagined in 1 weekend of him raising money that he'd raise $1,100. So I was at the grocery store that evening after he did his speech, and a lady came up to me and said, "Was your son doing the speech for the project?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, we didn't have money at the time," and she gave me $20 at Kroger to add to his amount. So it was just amazing that she kept that in her mind, that she wanted to do the donation even after church was over and everything. So I didn't even know who she was, but she went to the same church. She saw me and she recognized me, and she remembered that he did the speech that morning. So it was really impressive to see the church come together like that. You had 2 project work days. How many were at your first project?
Probably 12, and then another maybe 10 the next day, so 22 people.
So Jonathan, what do you think is the biggest thing you learned?
Probably helping people and showing them how to do stuff, because most of the scouts came into this project not knowing anything about woodworking. Like they were constantly like turning screws the wrong way. How to teach them like righty tighty, lefty loosey, and just about everything about woodworking to build these.
Yeah. Do you think the prototype was a good idea?
Yeah. It probably would have been a disaster if we hadn't done a prototype a couple weeks before the actual project. We learned a lot of things about how to teach everyone to do it and just how they were built. So these are our 4-tiered display stands for produce. So we have 4 boxes. 3 of them are not screwed in, but we have this one up top because it's just too hard to grab this if it's up there. It's too high for people. And we have 3 of these. They are removable boxes, so you can bring them around to get produce, put them back in the stand. And one of them has our troop logo and the Scout fleur-de-lis. They have holes in the bottom, so like debris from produce can drain out through here. Yeah.